still talking about the future, still talking about us and how we're changing the future. We're going to talk about why Baba Vanga, Edgar Cayce, and Dolores Cannon all pointed to 2026 and what NASA just confirmed. We are in it now. You ready for this? Let's go. We've got some big surprises coming for 2026, and I'm going to tell you what, some of them are going to blow your mind. It's already happening. If you haven't heard what's going on out there, I think we need to start talking about it more and more, but we're going to bring old prophecies here forward because some of them are lining us up for that new decision that we can make and telling us this is the time when things have to change if we choose. So welcome to Landria on YouTube, here to break through fears and live an amazing life. Well, this is going to post on Christmas. Yeah, I think so. And so happy holidays to all of you, and get ready because buckle up. We have big things happening, from finding out where we came from, what we are, and what happens from this day forward, because we are not alone. I think we already knew that. That's one of Baba Vanga's predictions. So I hope you'll subscribe, ring that bell so that you know when that next video is coming out, because we're heating it up. I'm gearing it up. I'm going to tell you some great stuff, and you're going to love it because we have capabilities beyond our imagination. Let's start using them. Stay to the end. I've got some great free stuff for you to stay in alignment with that new frequency that could change your life. Let's talk about Baba Vanga. Baba Vanga's 2026 predictions are going viral worldwide right now. Millions are searching for answers about alien contact, AI dominance, and global conflict. But here's what nobody's telling you. She's not the only one who saw 2026 coming. Edgar Cayce predicted it in the 1930s. Dolores Cannon subjects described it in the 1990s. And NASA just confirmed the exact timeline. November 2024 through March 2026. We got some big stuff happening in the first quarter of 2026. I got videos coming up just about that. 3 sources separated by decades and continents, never knew each other, all pointing to the same event window. This isn't coincidence. It's called Convergence. I mentioned that in my last video, and you have less time to prepare than you think. And I don't want to create urgency except for one thing. You're only here for a certain period of time in this body, in this role. So what are you doing with it? Let me ask you something. When one person predicts a major event, you might dismiss it. When 2 sources separated by decades predict the same thing, we pause, right? But when 3 independent sources, a Bulgarian mystic, an American prophet, and a quantum hypnotherapist, all describe the same transformation happening in the same time frame, that's not prophecy anymore. That's a pattern. It's actually a warning. And it's actually, in my opinion, a message of great hope and celebration that the change is happening. It's coming big time and accelerating because we are stepping into it. Yeah, I know you are. You're ready for it. You guys are telling me in the comments. Well, right now, Baba Vanga's name is exploding across social media because her 2026 predictions are trending on every platform. And people are asking, is she right? Should I be worried? Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. You should never be worried. All of this is absolutely a test. It is a challenge. We took it on. There's nothing to worry about. But, you know, some of the stuff is very unpleasant. So let's talk about that. What if I told you that everything Baba Vanga is credited with predicting for 2026? The consciousness shift, the technology takeover, the global conflicts, even the alien contact. Did you know she did that? I think that's pretty cool. Edgar Cayce described these exact same themes in documented readings from the 1930s and 40s. And Dolores Cannon, her QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis technique, hypnosis program, I'm actually trained on that. Her subjects, people who never read Cayce or Baba Vanga, described the identical timeline in sessions from the 1990s and 2000s. And here we are. Here's what we're going to do in the next 20 minutes. I'm going to show you exactly what Baba Vanga predicted for 2026, what's real versus what's been added. I'll reveal how Edgar Cayce's documented readings match her themes perfectly. Sorry, I had to pull the cookies out of the oven. I'll show you Dolores Cannon's convergent information from the QHHT sessions. I'll give you NASA's scientific confirmation of the timeline. And most importantly, I'll tell you the 4 things you must do before November 2026. Yep, we have another timeline coming up. And 2026, trust me, is going to fly by. So much is going to happen. And we're going to be mind blown at what's going to actually be shown in our face. Not speculation, but stuff that's actually proof of some things that I'm pretty excited about, because this isn't about fear. It's about preparation. It's about understanding that something major is happening and you get to choose how you experience it. And I, for one, want to go into this new world with great exuberance. I want to do things that change the planet. Do you? Let's start right now. I got all kinds of stuff for you. So let's talk about what Baba Vanga actually predicted. Who was Baba Vanga? Evangelia Pandiva Dimitrova, known as Baba Vanga, lived from 1912 to 1996 in Bulgaria. She was blind from childhood after a severe storm. Despite her blindness, she became one of the most consulted mystics in Eastern Europe. Even Soviet leaders, including Leonid Brezhnev, sought her counsel. For her documented accuracy, the truth, supporters claim she's been 85% accurate. She's credited with predicting Chernobyl nuclear disaster, collapse of Soviet Union, September 11th attacks, though details are disputed, 2004 tsunami, the rise of ISIS. She died in 1996, so anything about 2026 comes from interpreted notes and secondhand accounts, not recorded prophecies. That said, certain themes repeatedly show up in documented accounts from people who consulted her before her death. So Baba Vanga's 2026 predictions. What's actually trending based on current viral coverage and documented interpretations? Here's what attributed to her for 2026. Alien contact in November 2026. I have to tell you, I saw a movie. I'm going to share this coming up. This stuff's documented. One of the aliens telepathically told a doctor in a hospital who was trying to help it, I feel sorry for you humans. You don't know what you are or what you're capable of. And I'm going to tell you something, we're going to tap into that this year. We're capable of so much, and we're going to go there. Here's the claim. She claims a large spacecraft will approach Earth in November of 2026. Well, we've seen that, but this is going to be notable globally, marking humanity's first official extraterrestrial contact. Some link this to the interstellar object 31 Atlas. I think that's just something that was flying by from another galaxy. But, that's just my opinion. But the theme of contact with higher intelligence or cosmic revelation appears in multiple interpretations. But that's not just her. It's showing up. The governments, people, the light workers in our institutions and governments are all coming out in force. One at a time, they sort of disappear. They fall off buildings. Not anymore. They're stepping out more and more, coming together. Now, be careful of misinformation, but I believe we will have absolute proof that we have visitors. What's the big whoop? What? No surprise? I'm excited about it. If they're malevolent, we wouldn't be here. Trust me. I think there's different stages of them out there, but I believe it's going to come out in 2026 in a big way. Number 2, she said AI dominance and technology take over. The claim by 2026, she said AI will advance beyond human control, affecting jobs, relationships, and daily life. Machines will begin making decisions that shape society. My take, she never said AI specifically. It didn't exist in her time, but accounts describe her warning about machines that think and humans becoming too independent on their creations. Global conflict escalation. The claim, she says a major war beginning in the East, possibly Asia, will escalate into wider global conflict by 2026, described as the start of humanity's downfall. I think we were already on that fall. I think that is a collapse, and it's a positive thing, and it will make the way for a new world. My take, multiple accounts reference her predicting rising Eastern tensions and global power shifts in the mid-2020s. Natural disasters affecting 7 to 8% of Earth's surface. What's new, right? The claim, devastating earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, extreme weather will alter significant landmass in 2026. She reacts to us, all right? So the more we go into high frequency, the less you're going to see those violent Earth changes. I'm serious about this. It's not that some of it won't happen. A lot of it's going to happen. But the more we go into peace, the more we will become one with this live, sentient planet that we live on. As soon as we start respecting her, my friend. She was known for predicting natural disasters throughout her life. Climate-related predictions are well documented in accounts from visitors. So she also predicted the rise of a global leader or lord of the world. The claim, a mysterious figure will emerge from chaos to establish a new world order using technology and control, or alternatively, bringing spiritual guidance. Edgar Cayce actually used it as a positive spiritual movement. Order to me is no longer chaos and a new world. You don't have to see it as something threatening because there's always a higher frequency choice that people will make. And if you make that choice, you will be in the penthouse and you will see the world differently. It's still a choice. You can respect your life, your planet, your health, and you can have abundance beyond your dreams doing amazing good things. This exists for you right now. Here's what's undeniable. When you strip away the sensationalism and look at the core themes, consciousness shift, technology dominance, global restructuring, earth changes, contact with higher intelligence, these themes match what Edgar Cayce and Dolores Cannon independently described. That convergence is what matters. I believe that our neighbors are waiting for us to catch up and earn our way into a galactic neighborhood. There's trillions and trillions of solar systems and galaxy. For crying out loud, of course, we're not the only ones here. They're much more advanced. We got to get our act together if we want the assistance, right? They're technologically billions of years ahead of us. We could use that, but we misuse it. So right now I'm going to ask you, what are you doing? Are you misusing anything? Are you going and buying stuff, misusing your purchasing power, misusing your language, your thoughts, everything? It starts with every single one of us. Let's talk about Edgar Cayce. What Edgar Cayce actually said, documented readings. Now, let me show you something remarkable. He gave over 14,000 documented number readings between 1901 and 1945, and he died in 1945, decades before Baba Vanga became internationally known. Yet when you examine his readings about the mid-2020s timeframe, the themes are identical. Number one, technology and human consciousness. Human consciousness keeps coming up. We're doing, I'm so excited about this. Do you feel it? Reading 2772-1, February 1927. Cayce warned that humanity would create mechanical and electrical conveniences that would initially serve mankind, but eventually create dependence and spiritual disconnection. Doesn't have to. It was a warning. He said, when these become the master instead of the servant, man loses his connection to the divine. Still a choice. This is exactly what Baba Vanga described as machines taking over. That was the warning, not the in-stone predictions. Are we understanding now predictions are not in stone? Theme 2, Earth changes, natural upheaval. Reading 826-8. August 1936, the earth will be broken up in many places. Okay, I accept that. There will be open waters appearing in the northern portions of Greenland. There will be upheavals in the Arctic and Antarctic. South America shall be shaken from the uppermost portion to the end. Well, he said a lot about the United States and Europe and pretty much everywhere. If I have to leave looking at the Gulf here and watching the beauty here, then so be it. Glub, glub, glub. Reading 3976-15, January 1934. Cayce specifically said these changes would begin in 1958 to 1998 and culminate in the mid-1920s with the shifting of the poles and the new cycle beginning that started in 1998. NASA confirmed it. So we're in it, and it is increasing. The pole shift is increasing. This matches Baba Vanga's prediction of natural disasters affecting the Earth's surface. Theme number 3, global conflict and restructuring. Restructuring, reading 3976-29, June of 1943. Cayce described a period where the old order, this is why he's saying the new order, it's not a bad thing, would be challenged by new forces from the East. Ooh. Leading to global restructuring. He didn't say decimation. He said this would happen during the transition to the new root race, his term for evolved consciousness. Do you know what the new root race is? The fifth root race. That means we have evolved several times, and now we're going into the fifth. That's the peaceful one. I liken it to the fifth dimension. This aligns with Baba Vanga's conflict from the East and emergence of a new world order. Conflict from the East. Who's that? I wonder. But guess what? We don't know what's going to start any of this, how it may escalate and how it might kick some butts to say we better pull together and stop this conflict. Theme number 4, the new root race consciousness evolution. Reading 5748-6, July 1932. This is the key reading where Cayce described souls incarnating specifically for this transition period. I might be one of them. He called it the birth of a new root race, not biological, but consciousness based. Consciousness. So those who are here came here, oh, we all came here unconscious, we forgot. We're going into consciousness. You can go into. Did you miss December 21st, that nice little gateway? You're not left behind. It was just an opportunity. We're going to have many, many more. Take advantage of them because that's energy that aligns, that boosts you. And that's real. He said certain souls would come to Earth to hold the frequency and anchor the new energy during the shift. All right? Look around you. You know who some of these people are, and you know who they aren't. When you're watching YouTube and you're hearing some little scary stuff and people that know stuff, or they're channeling people out there and you're like, who is that? Yeah, be careful with that. Listen to the message. This perfectly matches both Baba Vanga's theme of transformation and Dolores Cannon's 3 waves of volunteers. Theme 5, contact with higher intelligence. Reading 5749-3, May 1932. See, I'm quoting some things. Cayce spoke of humanity making contact with intelligences from other dimensions and the opening of the veil during the consciousness shift. How cool is that? They're showing it. We're seeing them. We know we're here. How many more people have to give a story about, the big heads with the eyes? Just because they don't look like us doesn't mean they're evil. There's a lot more going on. We will find out about this. I've been watching some movies that are pretty mind-blowing. And guess what? Take it with a grain of salt and ask yourself, if this were to happen, am I ready for it? Am I ready to meet neighbors that could show us ways that are just beyond our imagination of peace and technology that is used responsibly? We have to earn it. He didn't say aliens and spaceships, but he did describe revelation of truth about humanity's cosmic origins and contact with higher dimensional beings. Revelation of truth about humanity's cosmic origins. He talked about the Sphinx and, the paw and all the whatever's in there. I think that's going to come here in many more ways than just that. Get ready. I'm so excited about this. I already know what we are. Okay. Did you read my book? Yeah. I already know what we are. Yeah. Okay. You ready for that? Might be the last book you ever have to read spiritually. This is the same theme as Baba Vanga's November 2026 contact. Magnetic pole movement started accelerating. 98 to 26, acceleration phase. Happening now, increased seismic activity, weather extremes. Mid-2020s, the consciousness shift occurs. We're in this window now. You know it's happening. Now let's talk about Dolores Cannon's QHHT convergence. She did not ever channel. I'm not big on channeling. I think if you let somebody talking through your body, you just don't know what you're opening yourself up to. And I think egos are involved in that. Just listen to the person. You can tell it's not whoever they say is coming through, so just be careful. If it's peaceful, I love it. That's great. It's probably them. Some people have some emotional problems and think that they're channeling. Others, they're probably doing the real thing. I'm not going to judge it. All I know is you've got this information right here. You don't need somebody else to tell you that stuff. Just know that you can make choice. And that's what we're talking about today. You get to make choice. You're that powerful. The third independent source. Now, here's where this becomes impossible to dismiss. Dolores Cannon conducted quantum healing hypnosis technique sessions from 1986 until her death in 2014. I miss her. That's nearly 30 years of documented sessions. Her subjects were ordinary people under deep hypnosis. They had not read Edgar Cayce. Most had never heard of Baba Vanga, yet they described the same events for the mid-20s from the 3 waves of volunteers and the New Earth. Theme number 1, technology warning. Multiple subjects described seeing a time when machines would think. Oh, we're already way into that. And warned that humanity would become enslaved by their own creations if they weren't careful. Do you hear this? Humanity will be enslaved by their own creations. This stuff didn't show up and takes over like some robots. We created it and we're putting the information in. You have to be careful how you're using it, especially what you're scrolling on. The algorithms telling YouTube and everything on the planet, this is what I like. And if it's not nice, you're responsible for putting that information out there. One subject, session documented in 1990s, I see people staring at glowing screens, isolated, unable to connect. The machines promise connection, but deliver separation. I want you to think about everything that's causing you to separate yourself from somebody else, including arguing about politics or anything else. That is you. That's another form of you expressing itself. Allow it. We don't need to argue about anything. Be careful with separation. Number two, Earth changes as birth pains. Subject after subject describe the 2020s as Earth's labor period before giving birth to the new Earth, right? So somebody says New World Order. She's saying New Earth, and we're not threatened by that. Don't believe for a minute the New World Order is something evil if it's named by a group who claims something that's not cohesive, loving, compassionate for our planet, all right? Be careful with labels and names. One session, the earthquakes, the storms, the volcanoes. Oh, by the person who asked me where I got it from, it's Saks Fifth Avenue, made in Italy, 100% wool. I might have to sell some of these. It'd be cool, right? I'll make them sustainable. The earthquakes, the storms, the volcanoes, these aren't punishment. These are the earth releasing the old energy to make room for the new. It looks like destruction, but it's actually preparation. We're going to tell you again, break through the fear. This is not fear-based. This is not fear-based. It's going to happen. Of course, eventually it will, but don't go into fear. It's just part of the evolution. And if you go into opportunity, you realize I could be a conduit for peace and all kinds of wonderful things to bring us together to get through these things, right? Theme 3, the timeline split. This is huge, and it matches both Cayce and Baba Vanga. Session 4512, around 2025 and 2026, there's a frequency shift. Earth splits into two experiences, not physically, but energetically. People divide based on the vibration they've been cultivating. Now, those of you, I'm not going to get to see my kids. A, you're assuming that you're in the higher frequency. They might be higher than you. You don't always know, right? B, it's not physical. They'll be in the same room with you, but you're going to experience something different, and they'll be going, yeah, let's watch TV or scroll, right? That's how it works. Theme number 4, the contact event. Multiple subjects described. By the way, she was really big into aliens. She has books and books. You need to read some of her books. They're really amazing. Multiple subjects describe something happening in the mid-2020s related to cosmic revelation or disclosure of truth. Already happening. I'm going to share some information with you guys coming up that's pretty crazy, and I believe it. I do. I believe, well, not all of it, but there's some of it that's just undeniable. It's not little green men landing on the White House lawn. First of all, why would they do that? Those people shoot at them. They would go someplace peaceful. It's humanity suddenly remembering we're part of something bigger, like a collective amnesia lifting another. The veil between dimensions gets so thin that what was hidden becomes obvious. Some people will see it clearly, literally. Others won't believe it even when it's right in front of them, and that's the consciousness. You could see it because the veils are thinning for the collective, and lower frequencies will call it something else, evil or ghosts or malevolent or demons, because they've been taught that. Right? Those in higher frequencies will see it as angels and assistants and our galactic neighbors. And you get this, right? The 3 waves of volunteers. Canon subjects consistently describe 3 groups of souls incarnating specifically for this transition. First wave, trailblazers who struggle but held the energy. Second wave, energy anchors who came to raise the frequency. There's like generations that came in. Third wave, system busters who came to challenge old structures. That's right now. They said by 2025 and 26, all 3 waves would be activated simultaneously to create the tipping point. Some of the first wave, they may not be still here. We're already past the tipping point, by the way. The canon timeline preparation window is 2020 to 2025, intense awakening, systems breaking down, and it is going to get crazy out there. And we're all going to go, finally. But let's create something to replace it that works. That's the key. The event mid-2025 to 2026, frequency peak, consciousness split becomes visible. I think we already know that, right? Stabilization, 2026 to 2030, two distinct experiential realities emerge. That's 2026 to 2030. That's when it's really going to shift and it's going to be obvious that these two worlds exist at once. So, NASA's scientific confirmation. The science validates the timeline. Now, here's where science converges with prophecy. Solar cycle 25, the NASA prediction, NASA and NOAA's, that's, the weather people, solar cycle 25 prediction panel released their forecast. Solar maximum will occur between November 2024 and March 2026. We've seen a lot of that happening. I feel that it's an energetic blast to the planet. I think it's a positive thing, not a negative thing. I really do. I think it's really connecting with our energy. And I think that, like, hello, yeah, let's bring it on. Specifically, it's going to peak predicted for July 2025. That was months ago. That was the peak. But we still have more coming. Why this matters: during solar maximum, sun's magnetic poles flip. Massive increase in solar flares and coronal mass ejections. Earth's magnetosphere is heavily impacted. Electromagnetic radiation affecting planetary frequency increases. We are electromagnetic beings. It absolutely is going to affect us. Like I said, if you're on a low frequency, it could blow out your circuits. If you're on a high frequency, you can handle it, and it's actually going to fuel you. The Schumann resonance anomaly. Earth's electromagnetic heartbeat, the Schumann resonance, is typically 7.83 hertz. Since 2020, documented spikes have reached 36 hertz and higher. Scientists acknowledge these spikes are real and measurable, but don't have complete explanations. I know. We're doing it. The magnetic pole shift, Cayce predicted it. Baba Vanga's themes suggested it. NASA confirms. Earth's magnetic pole has been moving at unprecedented speeds, up to 35 miles per year. Since the late 1990s, the magnetic field has been weakened by 5% per decade. What do you think that is? I think it's breaking through the veils. I think we're getting assisted. The convergence, Baba Vanga, November 26, contact or revelation event. Edgar Cayce, mid-2020s, pole shift, consciousness transformation. Dolores, 2025 and 26, frequency peak, timeline split. NASA, solar maximum peaks in July and going through March 2026. The window is identical across all sources, November 24th through early 2026. November, I know some big things are going to happen. I know some things are going to be happening in March and April of next year. What does it all mean? Understanding the convergent themes. Let me break it down. All these sources are actually telling us technology reaches a tipping point. It's still a choice. Whether it's an AI takeover or Cayce's machines as masters or Canon subjects seeing glowing screens isolating humanity, the message is clear. Technology will force a choice. Do we control it or does it control us? Number 2, Earth changes are transformation, not punishment. This is good. None of them said the world ends. None of them said that. They all say the world transforms. Cayce, the Earth cleanses itself. Canon, birth pains before the birth. Baba Vanga, devastation makes room for renewal. The economic warnings, the New World Order themes, they've all been describing the same thing. Systems built on old consciousness, control, separation, deception, cannot survive the new frequency. The truths are coming out, they're being revealed, and everyone is ready for it. And those in higher places that haven't been speaking up are speaking up now to reveal them. We're getting some extra help. I told you a couple of years, I said, don't fret. We've got people being very silent that are going to start stepping out when the time was right. And it's in numbers. A revelation that changes how humanity sees itself and its place in the cosmos. We're going to find out what we are. I don't think it's a woman who ate an apple off a tree because a snake told her to. And by the way, I'm not dissing religion, but I want you to think good and hard about what we've been told in the past that brought fear to us. It's all control and manipulation, and you never have to be afraid of anything again. It's all just the veils. It's gone. You're perfect, and we're capable of total peace and love, and it starts today. Maybe it's literal alien contact. Maybe it's disclosure of hidden technology. Maybe it's a mass spiritual awakening where millions suddenly remember our cosmic origins. The form doesn't matter. The consciousness shift is what matters. You're dividing into two experiences, the most important convergence theme. By late 2026, humanity will be living in two distinctly different experiential realities based on consciousness frequency. We've been leading up to this. What we're going to is amazing, but I want to do my best here because when I go over, I take that energy with me. I take that frequency with me, right? The old earth, chaos, victimhood, separation, struggle, separation, struggle. New earth, love based, flow, empowerment, connection, ease, solving problems. Where am I now? I don't like it. Look at what choices I've been making. I have to make some different ones. So, how do we navigate this? You have approximately 10 months till November 2026. More stuff's going to happen before then, but I think it's going to be a big event. The window all sources point to, here's what you must do. Practice them. Practice number one, daily frequency calibration. This is non-negotiable. There's no time anymore. There's not, I'll meditate some other time. It's happening now. Why? Your baseline frequency determines which reality you experience. Not me, you. You contribute to mine because we're all connected. How? Every single morning before engaging with technology. Sit in silence for 10 minutes. Feel what frequency you're broadcasting. Fear, love, worry, trust. You've got to adjust that. Consciously choose your frequency for the day. Embody that frequency in every cell. Cayce said, mind is the builder. Canon subjects. Practice frequency now so it's automatic during the shift. Next, technology detox ritual. Weekly minimum. Hey, you guys with those earbuds in there, did you know those are signals going into your brain? I've never used those. But once a week, go 24 hours with zero social media, news, entertainment screens, unnecessary phone use. Use the time for nature, face-to-face community, inner work, creative expression. If you can't do this now, you won't be able to maintain consciousness during the 2026 peak. Right? You got to sort of flush it out. Number 3, shadow integration work. This can't be skipped. Whatever you're avoiding will surface during the shift. Whatever you're avoiding. All right? What am I pretending not to know about myself? Where am I being inauthentic? What truth scares me and why? Where am I choosing comfort over growth? Comfort over growth. Act on what comes up. Have the hard conversation. Make the change. Stop lying to yourself. All 3 sources emphasize those who avoid inner work will struggle most during the transition. The next one, build your soul tribe. Start now. You can't do this alone. 3 to 5 people you can call at 3 a.m. who understand this work. A regular spiritual community. Canon subjects. Those in community will anchor each other. Those isolated will struggle. So don't be running off in the woods thinking, oh, I'm going to escape humanity. You don't. You're connected to it, my friend. Find your people now. I get it. This is a lot. Baba Vanga's viral predictions can feel scary. Edgar Cayce's earth changes can feel overwhelming. I know you guys freak out about all the water and stuff. Dolores Cannon's timeline split can feel confusing. But here's what I need you to understand. You wouldn't have found this video if you weren't ready. Think about it. Out of billions of pieces of content online, the algorithm brought you here to this at this moment. That means I know you're tuned into this message. And that's why I know you're positive. And you're not on a conspiracy channel saying black hats, white hats. What the heck does that even mean? That's insanity. No. What about we're all human beings on an equal level playing field and we all get choice? Yours is the most important one. It's not an accident. This is confirmation. Cayce said certain souls incarnated specifically for this transition. Cannon called them the 3 waves of volunteers, and Baba Vanga spoke of those who would rebuild while others hesitate. Don't you hesitate. Rebuild, taking action, not sitting back. Poor little me, the world is horrible, blah, blah. All right, go ahead, sit in that if that makes you feel good. If you want to sit in the dark basement, I don't know about you, but I'm going to do everything in my power. Stay in that penthouse. There's a beautiful view. The people there are amazing, and there's a new world up there. If you're resonating with this information, you're one of them. So here's my challenge. For the next 10 months, we're going to be on it. From now through November 2026, commit to the 4 practices. Do them daily, weekly, because when that window hits, we have got some huge stuff happening and it's culminating. It's going to build, build, build. We're going to have so many videos coming out about this. You won't panic while others panic. You won't fall into fear while others fall into fear. You'll remain centered, grounded, clear, because you'll know the really good stuff's happening and they're going to think it's bad. Comment, I'm ready below if you're committed to these practices, and subscribe because between now and November 26th, I'll be releasing weekly guidance on navigating the convergence. I'm going to tell you some more stuff that's happening in real time here. We're in this together. The collective awakening isn't something happening to us, it's something we're co-creating. All of these mystics saw them. And you were born for this exact moment. Let's do this together. So stick with me if you want information about landrianka.com, free inspiration. I have free webinars, free master classes, ways for you to break through fear, to deal with the past, to see it differently. I give you the steps on how to do that, all kinds of free stuff. And of course, I have some paid courses. Digitalexplorers.net. If you want to create a planet conscious, purposeful business online, we find out what that is. You wouldn't believe what my students are doing. It's not easy. If you want to get in front of people, make a difference, and earn doing it, you deserve to get paid for doing amazing things. Come on over. I have free master class there. I also have an Amazon store and products down in the description, from water filters to Bite toothpaste that's non-toxic. None of it comes in plastic. It is healthy for you. And we, by purchasing that's not more expensive, by the way, than the crap, we are supporting the businesses who are making and creating the new earth, the new world, and we are the new consumers. And I'm talking about everything you do. You don't need another t-shirt, all right? So we are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. I hope you'll share my videos, subscribe, again, ring that bell, let YouTube know you're ready. And you know that something amazing is coming. It's already happening. I'll see you there. Namaste.